What's cracking, people? Anansi here, and welcome to a new project on the channel. As you can tell, we're playing a PSP game today. But I wonder what game it's going to be. Well, if you read the title of the video and saw the pilot I put up earlier today, you'll know that we are playing Daxter. That is right, we're continuing our Jak and Daxter marathon with the only good side game in the Jak and Daxter franchise, developed by Ready at Dawn Studios, which are most popular for their God of War games. I believe the Ghost of Sparta and the Blades of Olympus. In this one, we're playing, well, Daxter, and there's Daxter being a goofball on the front. How we're going to handle this project before we get into it is that this is not going to be a 100% run through, because even though I have fond memories of the Jak and Daxter franchise, and I have enjoyed every single moment of it from the very first time it's introduced, this is a game that I have actually until recently never played, actually never even owned. I finally got myself I guess to make a long story short, I wanted a PSP since I was a very young kid, just for this game. Well, this game and one other, but yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that one day. And I was never able to get it. I've always asked my mom, always asked my dad for it, but I never got it. It wasn't until I finally got old enough old enough to get my own job, earn an income, and be able to buy a PSP that I finally got this. And it wasn't until, I would say, late 2020 that I finally got this game, and it wasn't until last week that I actually sat down and beat it. So how this is going to work is that since I've only played this game through once, this is going to be a very, very, very casual run. I'll get into it, Daxter. Hold on. This is going to be a very casual run of Daxter. So I'm probably just going to talk more about my retrospective with the Jak and Daxter franchise and what I feel about Daxter. I will say this: having played this game through once, I can safely say it's well worth your time. If my memory serves correct, you can get this game on the PS Vita via the PlayStation Network now. I'm playing this on the original PSP, and yeah, we're just going to jump right into it. As you can see, done a little bit of work here, so we're going to overwrite this one. Haven City Streets, let's go.
In the great struggle of good versus evil, there is often more to a hero than meets the eye. Just as the plants have their hidden roots, and rocks, when turned over, reveal their dark underbelly with all manner of surprises, so too is the great story of Jak and his epic fight to save Haven City. Every mother's child has heard the story well, but most have heard only half the tale. For as great as Jak was, he would never have succeeded without his often forgotten but faithful sidekick, Daxter. In my many years as a sage, and trust me, it's a big number, I've learned one very important truth. Behind every great hero, there is always a wisecracking, obnoxious nincompoop. This is his story.
I can't do this anymore. It's too dangerous.
But please, don't leave now.
Forget it! Find another crazy sucker, okay?
Oh.
It's him.
Don't worry, Jack! I'll save you before you know it!
What was that? Where'd he go?
Where'd who go?
That little crazy orange? Whatever he is, I'll show him.
And there I was, toe-to-toe with 55 of the nastiest lurkers you ever saw. Suddenly, they came at me from the left. So I moved to the right with a chop and a kick and a... Wait, come back! I've got more! After I fell down to confuse the lurkers, I then... Oh...
Can you speak up, son? My ears aren't what they used to be. Tell us the one about how you can knock guards silly with a single blow.
What, I can? Oh, yeah. Those guards don't stand a chance against the old 1-2.
Yes, I'm pleased to meet you also. I'm Osmo, proprietor and chief spray technologist for the Daxter Extermination Company. Let me get right to brass tacks, young man. I need someone like you. Someone with your ingenuity.
That's me.
Someone with your strength.
That's right.
Your resourcefulness.
Yep, got it.
Your bravery in the face of certain death.
What? Okay, move along, old man. You had me at hello, but you had to push it.
In short, would you like a job working for me? I'll make it worth your while.
Forget it, buddy. I don't know nothing about exterminating, and I hate bugs. Although, I could always fake it.
Hey, what? You take it. Wonderful. Meet me at the shop tomorrow. And welcome aboard.
And just like that, we find ourselves in gainful employment. So, getting the basic tactics here. The PSP only has one analog stick, well, like a thumb pad anyway, and you just kind of move Daxter like this. You do not have complete freedom over the camera. This is much like if you owned an old Sega Dreamcast, it's pretty much like that, or yeah, it's pretty much like that, because I believe most handhelds nowadays let you get full 360 control of the camera. You can only rotate the camera here left and right. So it's kind of something to get used to. So it's got to move Daxter to a light beacon, and that's about it. But yeah, well, we'll get into that in a second. Yeah, let's go ahead and see what Osmo wants to talk about.
Looks like the bugs won.
What was that?
Nothing. All right. Everything with more than 2 legs start trembling, because the Daxternator is in the building.
That's the spirit. Are you ready for your first test?
Just give me the bug juice, Pops, and make it a double. I'll hose down every creepy crawly that moves.
No. You must first learn the basics. In my day, we hunted bugs with style and class. A more elegant weapon, or a more civilized touch. Now, for your first job, I want you to go and take out all the loose bugs in the local hotel. Go get them.
All right then. Well, let's go ahead and do that. Going past the Star Wars reference there. Osmo, as much as I appreciate it, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you are not. So I guess we might as well go ahead and address the door. I need you to work for me, door. Door. Huh. Okay, that was. Well, no, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, Ozma, your door don't work. There we go. Okay. So...
Daxter, I almost forgot to tell you about the communication device. I'll use this to keep in touch with you whenever you're away from the shop. Now, you're good to go, my boy.
If there's one thing I've learned, you can never have too many of these precursor orbs.
So, okay, well, let's go ahead and do some of this tutorial real quick.
A health pack! Woo, bet you never guessed that one.
Daxter, that gold gem is dropped by all of these new nasty bugs. Collect as many of these as you can. Oh, that's how I get paid.
Well, there you go then. So, well, we'll get into it as we get to level proper, because there's a lot.
That's the hotel, Daxter. Head inside and talk to the concierge. And remember, your job is to exterminate bugs.
Whoa! Get a load of this place!
And then you press up. Oh, yeah, you get the first person cam. I forgot this was a thing. Because you really don't need to use it. Or at least, I never thought to use it anyway.
So you must be the Exterminator. Mr. Crew, our best customer, will be pleased you're here. But I don't like the looks of you. The bugs up here ate the last Exterminator alive. Anyway, I'd love to let you up the elevator, but I've lost the key somewhere. Have a look round for it, will you?
You pompous so-and-so. So yeah, let's go ahead and just address the elephant in the room. Daxter is an integral. What does that mean? This is a story that takes place between games. And here's the key.
Thank you. Now bring me back a nice stack of those gold bug gems, and I'll tell Osmo you've managed better than that last fellow he sent.
Bring 25 gems back to concierge. So yeah, Daxter is an integral story. It takes place between Jak and Daxter and Jak 2. Specifically, if you played Jak 2, then you remember that the start of Jak 2 hard cuts to a 2-year time skip. This is the story of that 2-year time skip. Okay, we'll press X with the electric water. Surprisingly called it a light swatter. That would have been perfect.
I may have forgotten to feed the plants, I'm afraid.
You can also just jump past them, but you know, gotta be careful. Oh, also, let's just go ahead and I believe I can just drop down here. Let's go ahead and drop down here real fast. Get some gems, some because orbs. So yeah, Daxter is the story of that 2-year time gap, where we get an idea of what Daxter was doing in the meantime, between the time he got separated from Jak and the time he met up with Jak. Met up with Jak again. Not gonna lie, is for what it is a very simple story. There's not too much about it worth noting. I would say it's more oh, there we go. It's definitely an entertaining one, and it's pretty much, if you know anything about Daxter as a character, it's pretty much everything you can expect from that.
Yeah, being an Otzel might be useful after all.
There you go. But that doesn't mean that nothing of consequence happens in Daxter, and as we get through the story, you'll see what I mean. Now, granted, you can still skip Daxter as a game and just look at cutscenes up online. You're not missing too much, but as a game itself, it's still worth your time. You picked up a combat bug. Combat bugs can be dueled against other players. Refer to the software manual for more information on the bug combat. So yeah, back when this game came out, you could collect bugs. Oh, we can't get to that anytime soon. You could collect bugs to combat people online over by a link cable, I believe. It's basically think of it like Pokemon. I have not dabbled in the bug combat, but you can collect a number of bugs, number of upgrades for the bugs in the main game. You collect. The only way you're going to expand your bug collection, I believe, is just by playing the main game. But yeah, no. Going back to it, yeah, Daxter. As you can tell, by the opening cutscene, what basically happened is that Daxter escaped. Osmo helped, pretty much covered for him, and then he waited almost 2 years to recruit him for a job. So he saw someone quit on Osmo. He waited 2 whole years and then came to get Daxter in a bar where he was telling stories, well, exaggerated stories, which is actually, which I do like because it is a character quirk of Daxter that they introduced, I believe, in Jak 2. Did a little bit more of the embellishing in Jak 3, and then really ramped it up in Jak X. Also, another thing to note, even though this is an integral game, it was actually the first game developed in the Jak and Daxter series not to be made by Naughty Dog. It came out in 2006 after the main series had ended. This includes Jak X. So, I will probably make some allusions to Jak X. Come on now, get up here. Get up here. Let's see, where are we right now in terms of... Oh, come on. Nope. Okay. Okay, I'll admit the hip collision. I'm not sure if I'm just messing up like crazy, but I remember the physics when I got to certain points in the game were kind of slippery. But anyway, yeah, so... But yeah, no, Daxter is the story of Daxter being an exterminator. And I remember this game looked so cool when I was a kid, and having picked it up recently and been able to enjoy it firsthand, I would say that even after all these years not being able to play it, I'm gonna have to come back to that one. Okay, so I'm going to come back for some of those, but you're going to want the precursor orbs. I'll come back for those off screen, because the precursor orbs are used for more important things than just collecting stuff inside the game and buying upgrades.
Oh, did I forget to give you the room keys? Well, you'll find a way.
This concierge is getting on my nerves. But yeah, no, yeah, you are going to want to try to find as many precursor orbs as you can. It will be important for some stuff later. So any orbs that I miss, I will be coming back off screen to get, because a lot of orbs you actually can't get on your first run through. You have to you have to come back. You have to revisit levels later to get them. And you know, we'll get to that when we get to that. Anyway, back to the bug exterminator. Let's see here. And by the way, Daxter has 5 hit points to start off with, but like Jak 3, Daxter will get more health as the game goes through. And when we get to those points, I will let you know how it works. But another thing to go into this game with, and the reason why I'm taking a more casual run to it, is that Daxter, if you notice from, not even from just Daxter's storytelling stuff from when we find him in the opening of the game, but from Osmo himself, Osmo made a Star Wars reference. Okay, this game is very much referential in nature, so if you know your pop culture, you're going to have a blast. You're going to have a blast picking out all of the references. If you're not up on it, well, you'll probably get a chuckle out of them, yeah, regardless. I want to hop on here. And just because the concierge has been so mean to me, I'm gonna break all of his dishes because for some reason they were serving them figure sports and health packs. Commentary on certain things, and someone stabbed a spoon into the cushion. That's for the cushion. The cushion did nothing to you, man. Leave that cushion alone. Okay, so I think we want to go in here. There we go. You picked up a combat bug token. Tokens are placed strategically during bug combat duels. So yeah, I believe these are just more like special attacks and stuff. Like I said, I have not been able to actually dabble in the bug combat, which I would have liked to, because once again, this is on my PSP back from 2006. Whatever internet connectability the PSP had is long since discontinued. Which, you know, I understand, because as you update your systems and put out more relevant hardware, there isn't much reason to still support old hardware. I say this, but Sony didn't stop making the PlayStation 2 till like 2014. It's got me there. So I don't see why they couldn't still support, you know, this game and whatnot. But at the same time, this game is over 14, going on 15 years old. So I can see why they probably wouldn't feel the need to keep up with it. Anyway, getting back to it, these are going to be our these are going to be our basic enemies for the game. In Jak 2, we were introduced to the concept of the metalheads. Well, these are metal bugs. They once again come with the skull gems that are characterized of metalheads, but they're much smaller in scale, and as far as like Jak is concerned, they're not a threat. But when it comes to Daxter, oh, they are more than a threat to him. So yeah, it does work, and I do like how they flesh out the metalheads in this game, because even though it is just like, oh, we just made metalhead, we just made bugs, so that way Daxter has something to fight against when we make a solo game of this. Even though that is the case, I like how they expand upon the idea that the metalheads have more than just the big monstrous forms. They can affect your personal life too. So, I think they wanted 25, right? But I think you can max out at 30. Yeah, I think you can max out higher than what's required. If I hit start here, yeah, you can get up to 39. So one thing I like about this game is that every single level you go to gives you a count out, a readout of how many collectibles are in that stage. And I do like that. I do like that idea for games like this, like these collectathon games. On the one hand, it does spoil what you're doing. On the other hand, at least you have a set end goal for certain missions. There we go. So that's something to keep in mind. Oh, there we go. Something to keep in mind when you're going through the game. So, an 100% completion of a level is fairly easy when it comes to the skull gems, because as long as you just fight enemies, you're going to get skull gems, especially new ones. And another tip to know, unless you die, and that's even if you die, because they have checkpoint systems. Once you collect the maximum number of skull gems, unless you revisit the level, you are more than likely going to be set in terms of you're more likely not going to bump it anymore. Jump up here, and let's jump up here. Nope, I messed that up. Well, this gets you to that peeker score I got out of sequence earlier. Yeah, another thing about the game is that the hitboxes are a little bit on the wonky side, as in they're actually much. Well, when it comes to collecting items, they're actually much bigger than you'd expect. But when it comes to, let me say, Well, this one's going to be kind of hard to collect to do what I gotta do here. But when it comes to, say,
Looks like the express exit for the Daxternator.
okay. But let's say when it comes down to collecting like skull gems and precursor orbs, you don't have to be 100% precise. You gotta get relatively close. But as long as you're like in the general vicinity, well, let's see that was. I see I was too far away from that one. But some of these you can pretty much like dang near miss or just barely hit with your toe, and you'll get it. See, right there. Some levels more than others are very forgiving with this. Let's see what we got here. I remember this one being hard for me on my personal run because that one right there. And like I said, when I get done with certain levels, if it's a blatantly easy precursor orb that I missed, I'm going to come back and get it off screen. Anyway, just like that, I believe we are done with the first level.
You've exceeded my expectations. Payment received in full, and I'll be phoning your employer immediately. Now off you go.
And there we go. Mission complete. So, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and get the blatantly obvious texture deloaded there. I'm gonna get the blatantly obvious precursor orbs I missed off screen. In the meantime, I've been Anansi. This has been Daxter, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.